In the build-up to their white ball series against Sri Lanka, Team India held their first official press conference, which was attended by their vice-captain on the tour, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who is returning from a string of injuries of late. And he was quick to tell that returning from an injury is not as much about the body. It is about the mind. He said you have to put the mind over the body. The mind has to forget the injury as quickly as possible, because he says despite the injuries, he keeps his training processes and other physical exercises pretty much the same. He just says that the mind has to forget about the injury. But because there's another Team India in England right now, apart from the team that is in Sri Lanka, there have been remarks floating around calling the team in Sri Lanka a second string side, which the vice-captain was quick to rebuff, as he said that both teams are main teams. And while one may be in England, the team in Sri Lanka also has some really good match winners. But there were also concerns about how Bhuvi should be with that Team India in England, especially after their defeat in the World Test Championship final, which is why a question on Bhuvi's commitment to the red ball format was bound to be asked. And when asked about that, he said that he doesn't really prioritize a particular format over the other. He said that he just wants to perform whenever given an opportunity by the Indian selectors. But Bhuvi is very aware of how crucial this Sri Lanka tour can be for him, and his personal goals for this tour are to continue to execute his skills better, because in his own words, he said that this is the last international tour ahead of that T20 World Cup, which makes performances in this tour all that critical. While Bhuvi might be making a comeback, it is a comeback for another bowler from UP as well, Kuldeep Yadav, whose international presence and reputation in cricket has taken a nosedive lately. But per the vice-captain, Kuldeep looks very confident while bowling in the nets, and a good performance in this tour of Sri Lanka can hold him in good stead ahead of that T20 World Cup. The Team India in Sri Lanka though looks formidable also because they have the presence of Rahul Dravid there as the head coach, who Bhuvi says doesn't really like to complicate matters at all. He likes keeping things simple. They've spent a lot of time together, first in the quarantine in Mumbai and now in Sri Lanka as well. And Bhuvi says that Dravid just likes to keep things simple through and through. But he also emphasizes how, come the series, there'll be some serious planning around every Sri Lankan move. On the day when the draws for the T20 World Cup 2021 were announced and India and Pakistan happened to be in the same group, a question around that marquee clash between India and Pakistan was bound to be asked. To which Bhuvi said that while it's an exciting clash, it's a clash too far ahead in the day. There's a lot of cricket to be played between that India-Pakistan game and right now while they are in Sri Lanka. They then go on to play the IPL as well in the UAE. So he said while that may be a big game, there's a lot of cricket to be played before that as well. Calm, confident and composed Bhuvi looked assured when he addressed the media, with his head seeming very clear as to what it wants. Team India fans would hope that he exudes the same sense of assurance once he stands at the top of his mark come the first ODI, because an in-form Bhuvi is not only a treat for the fans but also a gift for Indian cricket across all formats. That's all that we have for you on this update from India's tour of Sri Lanka. For the rest of the updates around this tour and everything else cricket, make sure you stay tuned to Cricbuzz. My name is Tanay Tiwari. Thank you so much for watching.